All right, so again, what we're doing today is we are solving three variable functions systems. And the first thing I'm going to do is number 15 from yesterday, which was page 171. So this is page 171. This is number 15. And it looked like this. 3x plus 3y plus 6z equals 9. 2x plus y plus 3z is equal to 7. And x plus 2y minus z equals negative 10. All right, so I asked you yesterday, number the equations. It looked like everybody was doing that. And I was thinking last night that maybe I didn't say it clearly enough. I told you to pair up the equations first, right? Like a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3. Well, when you pair up, say you pair up 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and you make a 4 and a 5. The 4 and the 5 should look the same. They should have the same two variables in them. All right? You're pairing 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 to get rid of the same variable. Problem is, and what confuses you guys is that you get to choose which variable. So I'm going to pair up 1 and 2, and I'm going to pair up 2 and 3. Just for simplicity, because that'll always work. So if I take equation 1, 3x plus 3y plus 6z equals 9, and I take equation 2, 2x plus y plus 3z equals 7. And then I'm going to pair up 2 and 3. Haven't done anything yet except do a bunch of writing. Now is when I decide what variable I want to get rid of. I'm going to just go with z because it's down at the end and it's hardest to write. So in equations 1 and 2, if I'm getting rid of the z, I have a positive 6z. That means I need a negative 6z. And to turn 3z into a negative 6z, I need to multiply by negative 2. Does everybody agree with that step and how it happened? So when I take that equation and I multiply it by negative 2, I get negative 4x minus 2y minus 6z equals negative 14. That's my new number 2. So now I'm going to combine 1 and my new 2. So 3x plus negative 4x is negative x. 3y minus 2y is positive y. 6z minus 6z goes away. That's what we wanted to do. 9 minus 14 is negative 5. And I call this equation 4. Now, since I got rid of z in 2 and 3, I'm going to get rid of z in, since I got rid of z in 1 and 2, I'm going to get rid of z in 2 and 3. I got a positive 3z. I need a negative 3z. I've already got a negative z. So I can multiply this equation by just 3. Agreed? Because that gives me a negative 3z. So the whole equation 3 by 3 is 3x plus 6y minus 3z equals negative 30. And then we combine 2 and the new 3. So 2x plus 3x is 5x. Y plus 6y is 7y. We eliminated the z's, and we are equal to 7 minus 30 is negative 23. And we call this equation 5. We good? We better? We all right? Now, what we just did, we're going to do it again with 4 and 5 to get rid of another variable. So if you start off with 3 variables, you got to eliminate 1 to get to 2, and then you got to eliminate 1 more to get down to 1 variable. And then you work backwards by substituting. So if we're going to combine these 2 equations, you can pick what you want to get rid of. I'm looking at them and I see something that's already negative and something that's already positive. All right, the negative x and the positive 5x. So that means if I multiply equation 4 by 5, I will have a negative 5x in equation 4 and a positive 5x in equation 5. And I will eliminate the x's. So when I do this, negative x times 5 is negative 5x plus 5y equals negative 25. Here's my new number 4. I'm going to combine my new 4 with 5. And when I do, negative 5x plus 5x is nothing. I got a 5y plus a 7y. What does that give me? 12y. And that's equal to a negative 25 and a negative 23. That's negative 48. So if I divide by 12, my y is equal to negative 4. 25, I combined the 5y and the 7y. I got the 12y. Negative 25, negative 23, I got negative 48. Divided by 12, y equals negative 4. Now I can go back to any, well, not any equation. I need to go back to an equation that has 2 variables in it, and I substitute the negative 4. So I'm going to go back to right here, this equation. I'm going to rewrite it down here, and where there's a y, I'm going to put a negative 4. So negative x minus 4 equals negative 5. Solve for x. So I've got an x and I've got a y. Since I can still see it on the screen, I'm going to substitute my x and my y into my original equation number 3, right here. So where there's the x, I'm going to put a 1 plus 2 times our y, which is negative 4, minus z is equal to negative 10. So I get 1 minus 8 minus z equals negative 10. The 1 minus 8, negative 7 minus z equals negative 10. Add 7. Negative z equals negative 3 and divide by negative 1. So z is equal to 3. So the solution set is 1, -4, +3. Is that any better for some of you? Again, you know, there's probably, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably a 15 to 20 step problem. It's a 15 to 20 step problem. Unfortunately, if you make one mistake, you get the whole problem wrong. If you make one mistake anywhere along the way, you get the whole problem wrong. Because the solution has 3 values. You've got your x, y, and your z. So you have to be ultra careful in, you know, even when you're just rewriting an equation. Some of you guys that asked for help yesterday, it was just a simple, you know, 7 minus 10, or let's see, what did we do over here? We did like a 7 minus 30, and you forgot a negative sign. You're done. You're never gonna be right in that problem again. So the neatness of your work is super, super important, and keeping it as organized as you possibly can, and then just not getting into a hurry, you know, slowing down and making sure none of this that we just did required a calculator. We all did it in our head the whole time, all the math. The math isn't hard, all right? It's the steps and the number of steps, okay? And it's just part of the deal. You got to be real careful. You got to be maybe double check as you're working through your problems, and try to stay as organized as possible. So I don't know how far anybody got yesterday, but what I'm going to, oh, those problems aren't any fun. What did I give you yesterday? 15 through 20. Okay. So let's do this today. Your assignment for today, here's what I'd like you to attempt, try to get finished. Page 171. I got problem, and what I'm doing is I'm going to give you problems that the answers are whole numbers and the answers are on the bottom of the page. So look, and two, once you get your answer to your first value, okay, once you get your first value, check that value before you substitute for your other values, okay? If this one's wrong, right, don't substitute it. And you've got all the answers on your paper down there. So let's do 171, 3, 4, and then if you can get to it, 9, 10, and 13. All right? Huh? You don't have to ask. You just got to fill out your planner and bring it to me, and I'll stamp it. All right, so that's going in the basket. I already gave you. Didn't I give you a planner? What, did he even fill the planner out for you? Because you're really tired all the time? Yeah. That's pitiful. That's pitiful. All right, if you guys at home don't have any questions, then you're excused. Go work on your assignment and get it sent in.